I'm an architect in my organization. I've been with the organization for nearly 10 years this year. And I've often referred to myself as an accidental architect. I don't never really feels like a natural home for me. In the last 6 months, I've been really focusing on trying to build or nurture an API community in the organization. And that's been a result of all of the work we've done together. And it feels like a much happier home for me and a more natural place for me. And I'm actually having a riot doing it at the moment. So I remember going to this conference in Amsterdam in 2014. It was called the API Strategy and Practice Conference. And we were in this massive, great hall in Amsterdam. And I watched a drone being flying, and drones were kind of new then. And I watched a drone being powered via two APIs by one half of the audience was sending SMSs, one half, I think, was sending emails. And I was just like, what the hell is this? Wow. And I really, what appealed to me, I guess, was because I've realized with working with you, like one of my values is connection, and community to a lot, to a part, but connection for me. And that's what APIs do. They're connections connect systems, connect people. They're a way to communicate. And that whole experience was joyful and delightful and new and exciting, which is something I hadn't felt for a very long time in the tech industry.
You joined my mentorship program about 18 months ago. So what made you sign up back then, if you can remember that far back?
I felt personally I had no confidence in my ability as a person in tech. I guess speaking about how I didn't really feel like I naturally fitted into the architecture space. So I guess that didn't really help. Mm-hmm. I also kind of wasn't really clear on what I wanted to do next, or how I would present myself, or how I would sell myself. I know resiliency is a large part of your mentorship program. And I had a couple of horrific years really before that, where I was totally stressed out. I found it really difficult. I found it really difficult to be in the role. And I made all the mistakes of trying to push out process without explaining it, and getting a lot of pushback from devs. And so I learned the hard way, and there was a lot of snot and tears and crying. Yeah, I guess so that resiliency, I think I felt I learned it the really hard way. And I just didn't really understand what would my next role look like, and how would I describe myself. And I spent loads of time researching other degrees that I wanted to do, because I thought, well, this doesn't really feel great for me right now, so I'm just going to quit and try and find another career. And I would spend hours looking at the degrees, but they're really expensive to do here. So I had that sense of wanting to run away from tech and quit tech and leave tech. And I've had that several times through my career, and that's usually telling me something's not right. I didn't pick technology because I loved playing with circuits at home, right? I didn't pick technology as a college degree because I really wanted to do it. I picked it because it seemed like a sensible career choice. And my brother, was working in tech at the time, and so was my brother-in-law. And so there was a lot of it around. But I guess something like with the APIs, I'm like, something was telling me, or I knew, I just had a dogged belief that these are how you will transform your company or your organization. And they put developers deserve better, and it centers developers. And I have a lot of empathy for them, these days, because just while developers are really good at complexity, it's just the cognitive load that I feel that they're under in modern organizations at the moment. APIs are about communicating and connecting, and I feel that maybe that's the part about the APIs that I really kind of now know that that's what I'm tuning into. But I had a sneaking suspicion that it would come at some point.
Tell me, so you signed up. What have you got out of it so far? If you can summarize it a little bit.
Oh my God, what have I got out of it? I feel I've done therapy before, like, you know, a couple of years ago. I feel like it's been a form of therapy, and I feel lighter. And I know that that's some of that comes with just aging. But for me, I think the big wow moments for me have been redefining success. I'm not about striving for goals or achievements or the you know, the big roles. I'm very much favoring progress over goals, right? So the goal is a lovely outcome and it can be an achievement, but it's all about the progress for me.
I'm going to say that's been a huge shift for you, haven't it? Because it wasn't
a massive shift, and it's made me so much happier, and it's made me more playful and fun. So the success has been a big one. I guess a lot of what you've talked about with the 3 principles, and not as someone who has often been prone to rumination, like, you know, it was something I talked about even in therapy at some point. As someone who's been prone to rumination, I feel like I've got skills now with how not to just give it power, how to realize it's something that comes and goes. It's transient, and you know that there is an inner wisdom. I guess I always knew with your process, I trusted it. I knew because it was an inner wisdom that told me this stuff works. This stuff will work. You just need to go through the process. And I think the final point I would say is I got some feedback recently that I'm very real. And so I know your program is called Authentic Tech Leaders. And it feels like a word that's been bandied around quite a lot. Authentic, your authentic self. But I've had that feedback recently, and I was like, yeah, I am what I am, and you take me as you can find me, and I'm okay with that. And I generally find so are a lot of other people, and I think in my role of trying to connect and build and nurture communities, being able to show that I don't have all the answers, but I can help signpost, or let's figure it out together. And I wish more leaders would say, I don't know more. And I wish more leaders would say, it's okay, we'll figure it out together. And I'm so excited to see where it goes, because I'm a creative flow at the moment. And I guess, yeah, it would be negligent of me not to say there's been a massive amount of creativity. And I think it was definitely something missing. And I really feel in this massive creative mode at the moment that's just been really delightful, and it's making, I'm really excited to see where it goes. So it's been an amazing experience. And I feel like it's been more of a life experience without trying to get too cosmic about it. But it's been really awesome.
So what would you say if someone's thinking about signing up? What would you tell them?
Do it. It's been such a lovely experience, and I really say this as someone who's tried other career coaching and other therapy. So yeah, it's just been an absolute delight, and I'm really excited to see where we go together, because I still have loads of sessions with you, and I still turn up every month because I'm still getting lots of value out of it. And it's been and just to talk about the other girls that have joined up, I just I've cried, we've laughed, we've shared I've shared personal things in this group, and something I think I realized later in life in my tech career is the power of women only networks in your workplace and the importance of them as a support. So so it's definitely a really safe, lovely experience.
Yeah.
I feel immense pride with some of the progress I see with some of the girls in our group. We're really there lifting each other up in a really great way. And as someone who's had such a fantastic community experience in the APIs world, I can say this, Emma, a community is, when it's led by someone, it's the communities are beautiful because of the leaders that create them. And I really think you've created a beautiful space, and that comes down to you as well as much as anything. So
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joyce.
No
And
problem.
there will be a link near wherever I share this video, which means people can connect with you as well, so they can find out about the API work you do and to join your communities that might be building off the back of this as well.